Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan here today again with another video on the 5 stages of a relationship and the synastry and the composite of that. Today we are in the last video of the first stage of a relationship, which is the attraction and the romance stage, and we're looking at the composite chart of that today. So I have made a video telling you how to get a composite chart cooked up between you and a potential lover. So if you want to know how to do that, links up above in the description box below. You can check that out. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the last criteria that is needed within a composite chart, so within the relationship dynamic, to show that there is attraction and romance in the component of your relationship. And this last criteria is understanding. So when we're talking about understanding, this is important for an attractive relationship and an attractive relationship dynamic, because it means that the two of you, you and a person you're in the relationship with, can openly share and discuss your ideas and opinions and your visions and your beliefs without judgment. So if a relationship becomes a judgy relationship where you immediately feel like the things that you say, do, share with each other is being met with a biased or a prejudice from another person, there's really nowhere to go from that, because then you have really, you're going to be censoring yourself a lot of the times in the relationship, and there's really nothing to talk about and to discuss. So this is about, a relationship that has an element of openness and acceptance. Also, understanding is also about a relationship dynamic in which the both of you feel like you are speaking the same language with each other. That this relationship has a certain amount of communicative ease. And that's really important when it comes to being able to be open with each other and being able to understand where the other person is coming from with a lot of things. So the first indicator of understanding with regards to these two things is when you and your partner in the composite have a moon conjunct Jupiter. This may also work with the trine, the sextile, quintile, and biquintile. But usually with those aspects, it's more about feeling comfortable to be with each other. And yes, having an amount of, acceptance from the other person. But it's so easy that it may not really be felt as much as the conjunction, but it, of course, is going to apply as well. But with the conjunction itself, it's really beautiful because it is showing that there's a lot of energy that is being directed in the relationship that's prominent, that causes the two of you to be able to discuss your beliefs and your religious sort of principles together in a way where you don't judge and you really understand, where the other person is coming from, because you understand their background. You may have cultural differences, but that does not become a problem in the relationship, because you get the other person's culture, and that's beautiful. The next aspect and placement that you can be looking for is if you and a partner have a moon conjunct Uranus, trine, sextile Uranus, or quintile or biquintile Uranus. The conjunction, again, same with Jupiter. The conjunction here is really going to be obvious. But with this one, with Uranus, I like trines and sextiles and quintiles and biquintiles more than conjunction. Because Uranus can be a bit of an extreme, meaning that, with the conjunction, you may feel like you really accept the other person for all their, weird ideas and opinions, and you can openly talk to each other. But you may be accepting too much of their weirdness. You see what I mean? But with the trine, sextile, quintiles, and biquintile, that is more like there's a good enough, you've got a good head on your shoulders with regards to accepting their weirdness but you are able to sort of maybe bring in a humanitarian perspective to balance off and not let the other person become completely loose with how weird they're gonna get, if you see what I mean. With the conjunction, it can get pretty loose. Another aspect that you could be looking for is if you have a moon conjunct Mercury, or trine or sextile Mercury in the composite chart is also really great. This is showing an ease of communication. You don't get in each other's way on a daily basis. When you want to say something, the other person just understands you. This is nice. Another aspect you can be looking for is if you and your partner have a Jupiter sextile or trine Uranus in the composite chart. But this may work with a conjunction depending on your composite chart. This will show that the trine and the sextile offers a good amount of enough energy and balance so that the two of you are open enough to share the things that you want to do to explore the world and explore whatever house Jupiter and Uranus are placed in. When you say, oh, I want to explore this, the other person, and vice versa, will say, let's do it. I'm excited about it. Or let's do it. I really have, been thinking all my life that this is what I believe is something that should be tried out. And you're gonna expand your horizons. You're gonna try out some weird stuff in your relationship, but you're gonna enjoy it. And it's gonna give you that value in the relationship that you feel you don't have to sort of cheat on each other or be unfaithful or do something secretive with other people, because you can do weird stuff together. And the other aspect you can be looking for is if you have a Mercury in a conjunction, this one works with a conjunction, trine, sextile, quintile, biquintile, Uranus. This is wonderful because it is putting the lower mind, Mercury, with the higher octave of Mercury, which is Uranus. So you're able to take each other's logical thinking, rational thinking, and, well, first of all, put that to use with regards to how you can help humanity with that idea. But also you can take that idea and you can bump it up to a level of consciousness, to a level of, collective awareness. You can bring insight and epiphanies to each other's way of thinking. So I think this is a really interesting aspect to have. And the last aspect that you can have in a composite chart, placement in a composite chart that will show that there's a great understanding and this causes attraction, is if you guys have a sun or moon in the composite 11th house. This is showing that if it's the sun, the goal of a relationship is to get along, is to be tolerant of each other. That's the 11th house. Because there is a certain amount of friendship quality that exists between the two of you before you become something more romantic. If it's the moon, this is showing that the feelings that you have for each other is tolerant. It doesn't get personal quickly. It doesn't, this will depend on other aspects, but generally it doesn't get too personal very quickly. It doesn't get defensive very quickly. The feelings are, I get you, I like your weirdness, I'm okay with it, I understand it. So these two aspects are really great to generate that kind of tolerance and understanding, openness, non-judgmental kind of attitude in a relationship that I think is wonderful. So guys, there we have it, some of the aspects in the composite chart for the first stage of a relationship to meet the criteria of having understanding. We're finally done with the first stage of a relationship. All that attraction, all that romance, it gets to a certain point. It reaches a certain limit, right guys? So now in the next video in this series, I'll be talking about the second stage of our relationship, which is when reality sets in and we start to really see the other person for who they really are, and we're gonna have to start to accept their flaws, and that can be hard. So if you have any experiences with any of the things I mentioned in this video, you can comment below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. If you already subscribed, then thank you very much for coming along. I do birth chart readings and synastry and relationship readings. You can visit my website for more information. You can check that out. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day, beautiful souls. Bye.